Check your heart rate. A whole new episode of the Rap Game is coming up now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Monday motivation.
Turn
for us.
this up. That Kelly rolling.
A little bit of motivation. Y'all trying to be like, Nova, I know. I see it.
Hey, Kelly, I got some bars
Kelly.
for you, too. I know that ain't the only one who got some bars. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Man,
Beautiful Kelly rolling.
beautiful. Did y'all see her?
Yeah, she looked great.
With the heels and the rope?
Don't,
With the
we'll talk about it. We will talk
That
about
was
it.
a great plug for her workout video, which I'm about to buy because I love to work out too.
Hey,
I just wanna watch.
Shut up and train. You feel me? Shut up
I'm
and
not even
train.
gonna train. I just want to watch. What's up, everybody? It's a new episode of the Rap Game. I am your host, Joshua Johnson, here with a couple of guys who need no introduction, so we're going to go ahead and skip that.
Oh, it's like that.
I was kidding. Give it a mic one time and look at that.
Man.
Here with a couple of guys who you need to know. Introduce yourself, guys.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jimmy V. Twitter, Instagram @BRunDash. Shout out to everybody that reached out to me about us going live. I got you guys. Thank you for joining us. Let's get into it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow my hashtag Nino's POV. And let's get it. I'm back, y'all. It's been
Nino
a while
is
since I've
back.
been
Back, man, on another coast, doing your thing.
I'm back on this coast where it's a little bit warmer because I almost got snowed in.
I know, but you made your flight
that's
out.
right.
Yo, I was the last flight
that's
to fly out of
crazy, man.
JFK before the
Serious?
blizzard. The pilot said, hey, congratulations, everybody. You're the last flight to fly out of JFK.
Did everybody start clapping?
Yeah. I got a
Thank you, Lord. That's
That was
what I'd have
crucial.
said.
Jimmy, you're not used to that coming from Massachusetts, man?
Hey, man, you know, I am used to it, but I came out here to avoid it, all right? So
Yeah.
that's why I'm out here in sunny California.
I'm so happy to
telling you, man.
avoid
It's
it.
been
Staying
hot.
away from the snow.
I don't know about you guys on the East Coast or anywhere else, but I've been
Yeah.
running the air conditioning in the car every day.
For real, it's hot right now.
spoiled.
It was like 60 something, but it feels like it's 70 something outside. I have
Yeah.
the sweater on. I'm about 50.
I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of hot in the studio right now.
It
And
is
I ain't
burning
even
up,
gonna
man.
front.
You know.
Get
Might
somebody
have
on
been
that.
from this episode, though, because this episode was,
This episode
Pretty
was,
hot, too.
Was hot. This episode was called "Shut Up and Train,"
yeah.
and we saw some serious training going on.
Yep.
We did.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We opened up the episode with Deetranada kind of feeling some kind of way about last episode because she came in. What was it? Was fifth last episode.
1 to 5.
And JD was saying, you gotta show up. You can't be messing around with just staying in one place. You gotta move back and forth. You gotta show some interaction. So she was a little salty about that because she didn't really understand why he gave her those notes. And she didn't kind of like said Roscoe wasn't doing anything either. Kind of threw him under the bus a little bit.
Yeah.
Doing more than her, though.
What's that?
He was doing more than her, though.
He was doing a little bit more than her because
Especially
he reached
yeah.
out, got the
interacting with
cheerleader
the people.
from
That's
from
right,
the
yeah.
crowd and did all that. But
This is where Deetranada's manager, though, can come in and give her some stage presence because he's a dancer. Her brother's a dancer.
right,
You know what I mean? This is a perfect opportune time to give that type of like lesson to her or whatnot. And I think he did. He mentioned, he told her why. He
did.
And what you could do better. You
he
know what I
really
mean?
tried. Do you think that Deetranada though is a problem? Could be a problem with her attitude. I know we talked about it before, but do you think that she respects her brother as a manager?
You know what? That's actually a great question. Just based on what we've seen with the show, whenever he gives her some feedback, she's kind of like,
got a little something to say, right?
moves on. Yeah. I don't think so just yet, but they've got the relationship where he's her number one fan no matter what.
And he knows how to deal
everyone
with
needs
her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he knows how to deal with her. So maybe he knows when to step back and come back at her to explain it before, when she's not, when her head's not too hot or whatnot. Granted, though, I think she does need to work on something like that to make sure she really listens to what people have to say, because she listened to Kelly today, but Kelly's approach was totally different. But then again, it wasn't in a heated situation, so
Yeah, and then maybe Kelly having maybe more credibility in the business.
oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe that kind of
I
tipped the
listen to
scales
anything
for her
Kelly
too,
says,
right?
Yeah, she might
I
motivate
listen
you.
to anything. Kelly says. And shout out
little
to
drop
everybody in
motivation.
the group chat. Actually, I'm glad everybody is joining us right now.
What's up, y'all?
And then
Absolutely.
it was definitely good for Kelly to join them because obviously, even though she is who she is, she's been in the game for as long as these kids have been actually born. When you think about it,
She said she started around when she was
Destiny's
15.
When she was
Child.
15.
Exactly.
So,
What were you doing at 15?
You know, what was I doing at 15? I was in high school and I was trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? I
know what I'm saying? I was trying to grind with the books and all that.
You know what me and Josh were doing? Probably trying to find out some Nike SB Dunks.
I know. I had some. Let's see. What did I have? I had these. I had these all red Nike. I don't remember the name of them, but I was like the first to rock like all red shoes in my school. People were like, "Oh man, that's crazy. That's so like loud and out there."
This is so opposite of what we're trying to say. But they're opening a Foot Locker on Hollywood and Highland.
Is that right?
For the ladies, I think it's gonna be a House of Hoops. I don't know. I'm just saying I saw it today.
Please tell me it's House of Hoops, man.
Well, we can move on.
Which sneakerheads over here?
I digress.
Well, the challenge this week was JD wanted to test their stamina. So, like you guys said, they walk into the gym, they see Kelly rolling, and I even have a note here that most of these kids weren't even alive to see like 9/11, for instance, just for some comparison's sake, right?
Wow.
So that was 2001.
Wow.
Kelly's hit with
makes me feel so
Kelly's hit with Nelly came out.
Why'd you make that comparison, bro?
I'm just saying because we need.
If Lem was here, he would feel even older.
We need that like reality
Throwing
check.
shots. He's not even here. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
About how old these kids actually are. Kelly's hit came out. That hit she had with Nelly.
Yeah.
Dilemma was 2002.
Jeez.
And still some of these kids weren't even born. So I was like thinking to myself, they know who Kelly is, but they really know her impact on the music business and also her, her stint with Destiny's Child, which ended in 2006. So they maybe I don't know.
Granted, I think like the heydays of Destiny's Child, they probably didn't get like the beginning. They probably didn't see the drama that went out on Destiny's Child and how hard the industry was. You know what I mean? They probably didn't see them on Star Search and all that stuff that they used to do. You know what I mean?
They're like, what is Star Search?
Right, exactly. Yeah. But they know her probably from those hit songs. But that makes you an icon right there. If you can come to a 13, 12-year-old who wasn't even born when your first hits came out, then they know you right away. You know what I mean?
And they know you. Yeah.
That's the best part of being, in the industry there.
Absolutely. And they also meet Shut Up and Train, who's Kelly's trainer.
That's right.
She brought him along.
Looks like he puts in his work too,
right?
Yeah,
Definitely
he's getting it in every day for sure.
Celebrity trainer.
Roscoe was not ready, y'all.
Roscoe wasn't. Roscoe is the kind of guy you can look at Roscoe and tell that he's not gonna probably be the best. He's not gonna be in the front of the line for gym class.
He was not.
Right, exactly.
I had called it like I was watching it. Right, I was watching. I'm like Roscoe's gonna say something because I remember the episode where he was trying to sweep, and he was like, "Why am I here? What am I doing this or whatnot?" Granted, he had a really good attitude this week, though. Towards the end, he had a good attitude.
I'm actually
at the end.
I'm actually glad you actually brought that up there, just because now we can kind of see a trend with his work ethic, kind of, and that's and when we're talking about longevity of your career, you gotta have consistent work ethic. This is what I'm trying to say, Roscoe, right? Because one thing that they mentioned about him when he was doing the workout, he just wasn't focused. He just wasn't listening to what they were saying. So a person can be talented, but if you don't have the effort to put in the work, all that talent is gonna go into waste. So just focus up.
And I think Roscoe was having a tough time too because he's just not that athletic. Matter of fact, none of these kids to me were that athletic. I was kind of surprised. I thought some of them might, excel more than others and be really athletic. They weren't, to me, in my opinion. But Roscoe seemed like he was having a tough time with the ropes. They looked too heavy to me because it seemed like they were jerking his arms rather than him jerking the ropes. So, but yeah, Roscoe.
Yeah, he had. I mean, like you say, focus and determination. I think he has determination. Maybe he just needs to be a little bit more laser focused on the situation and just hone in his ability as far as his work ethic. Altogether, just he's growing still. You know what I mean? Some people take longer to develop that strong work ethic.
Yeah, true, exactly.
And some people have it really young. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
And then shout out to Kelly who got down in heels and showed them how it was
said,
done.
Look, I can do this in heels. So if I can do this in heels, y'all better step your game up.
Did you see how she went down and did the little crawl back with the...
Don't remind me, brother. My fantasies was going crazy at that point.
We digress again.
We digress. Right. We keep this PG-13.
Okay.
But what'd you guys think of when the kids got back and they shared with the managers, what they did, and the managers was like, well, since y'all did some workout out there, why don't y'all go hit the stairs one time? And everybody, got in the stairs and all that push-ups over there, looking like a workout class.
The next day is the hardest day after a workout, too.
Super hard.
Sore day.
Especially if it's your first time at the gym and the first time back from a long layoff. It's super difficult because that's when the soreness
takes. After the soreness, though, it's good to go. You Gucci.
But the soreness takes like maybe up to a week to get over that. then you're good to go with the workouts.
You better roll out.
Oh,
literally.
man. But the rolling hurts too. You're talking about like the little.
I love the rolling though, because that just.
Or
look at this. We're just not even focused on.
It's all about the
Y'all focus on the
workouts.
wrong person over here. Nah.
It hurts, man. It hurts. But real quick, back to the gym because Kelly made some comments. Kelly thought that Tally was dope. That was her.
True.
Her
From
word
the
that
last
she used.
season too.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the last. She remembered her from the last season. Thought she was dope.
Yeah.
Kelly also liked Dejanada's style and her talent, so she made note of that. And yeah, and then a couple of them, while they're working out, they had to spit a rap.
Yeah.
And cause that's what you gotta do when you have a rap show. It's gonna be what, an hour and a half.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So you gotta be able to keep up that stamina the whole time. You might have a hype man, filling in words here and there, but for the most part, it's you, and you gotta, fill out the stage, keep the crowd hype, and do all that while keeping your heart rate up and your stamina.
As well as keeping your composure too, because
Composure.
one person, which we'll speak about later, they weren't able to keep their composure the whole time, and that ultimately. JD was like, yeah, I see you. I see you, So
It takes more than a day, though, to work that out and try to make it all happen. This is a TV show, so they have to cut a lot of things out or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for when they first started. So for them, for their first workout, trying to do that, trying to get in that star mentality, I give it up to them because that's hard.
It's very
hard. You're squatting, and you're trying to breathe, and you're trying to spit a rhyme. At the same time, you're moving those ropes and trying to spit a rhyme at the same time. We can barely walk and talk sometimes.
Right. That's difficult.
I just started to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. This takes time, people.
Now you want me to rap too?
Damn.
At the end of the workout, Nova, of course, Mr. Casanova had to, hey, can I spit an extra rap? Can I spit a little rap?
I'm mad at you, brother. I'm mad at you.
Right? What he do? He gets up and spits a little something to Kelly.
He was missing the box at
Little Casanova rap.
I'm mad at him. Because I'd have done the same thing at that age.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm mad at him.
He shot his shot. He shot his shot.
He did. And for that age, though, he confident.
He really is.
Wonder what Nia K think, though.
Oh. We spoke about that last week.
I know.
He trying to know what he like, she's just
he
a
said,
friend.
hey, we friends. We friends.
Yeah, them friends.
That Instagram.
Friends will get you messed up.
You know what? That's actually a great transition quick because recently just released the cast of the rap games, seasons 1, 3. We don't know exactly who yet particularly, but we do know Mulatto as well as Monty will be. There is a So Def tour this summertime for the rap game.
And people have been asking for this, right?
They have been.
We've been asking for it.
We've been asking. That's right. And
it
makes perfect sense. It actually begins the first show May 25th, launching off in Louisville, Kentucky, and it goes all the way until Sunday, June 25th, with their final show in Dallas, Texas.
Tickets go until this weekend, no?
That's right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a great look.
That's a really good look. Now they have enough contestants
everybody's
to fill out.
gonna be buzzing.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be dope. I think kids are really gonna come out for that.
No,
I think
definitely.
so. Yeah. Especially the end of the school year.
Right. Oh yeah, they've been waiting for this stuff, right? They've been waiting for this stuff. End of the school year, summertime. It's a good concert. They should have us out there so we can say what's up to everybody.
I'm saying,
everybody,
so what we need you guys to do out there, if you're watching this now, hit JD on Twitter, send AFTERBUZZ to So Def. We will get extra coverage just for you guys.
Snapchat, all of the social media,
do it all.
platforms.
We
need a special hashtag.
Coverage.
We need a special hashtag for that. Matter of fact, I had a hashtag the other week that I was trying to get started. I never really did, but it was something about after the rap game. Something. It was like a mixture of rap after.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
rap
right.
Game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need a hashtag for that, man. Get us on the.
You better tweet that out when you figure it
I'll
out.
get us on the rap game, man. But this challenge this week was not only about stamina, but it was also about staying on beat. So JD explained to the kids that he was going to be testing them on the Catch the Beat challenge, which he's had in past seasons. And this season, they had a little wrinkle to it while they're trying to catch the beat, which is very hard to do.
Right.
They'd also be moving back and forth with JD at the same time. And so what I want to say about that, in preparation for that, they couldn't have any of the old raps.
Right.
They had to have
It had to
everything
be something new, something fresh.
Something new, something fresh. Flau'jae goes back, and she stays up super late once again, which hurt her before in the previous challenge where they switched managers.
Yeah.
She stayed up late and trying to write new raps. What do you think about that? Did that hurt her or help her in this scenario?
I mean, we saw what happened last time. We saw where she was on the hit list this time. there's a saying: if you do the same thing expecting a different result, that's called insanity. Right.
This time,
I ain't trying to be too
There's a
hard.
workout called
I'm just
insanity.
saying, there is a workout.
I don't know if it really like super hurt her this time, although sleep would have been good for this challenge because you're moving and you're thinking and all the other stuff as well too. It didn't hurt her as much as last time, I think. But she, you know, that shows her determination, her work ethic or whatnot, but you also got to take care of yourself. And this whole episode was about making sure you take care of yourself as well,
Taking
too.
care of yourself.
You know what I mean? You know, granted, she had her flubs. You know what I mean? Her rhymes were tight, like we always say.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe a little bit more sleep could have helped her, just a little bit.
A little bit more, right?
More, yeah.
The next day, they walk into. Did I miss anything? No, I think I covered the episode up to that point, right? The next day, they walk into where they're doing the challenge. They see JD and DJ Holiday, ready to test their stamina and their you know what they can catch the beat. And I have to say again, like that would be really hard. I don't know if I could, how well I would do that.
Yeah. Very hard. You
even when you're not moving, right?
I mean, listen, I'm no rapper, so having a consistent beat for myself, that's already hard. So
Right.
now they're switching up the beat every 5-10 seconds, and you're being mobile at the same time. Very difficult.
That's tough. We saw how hard it was last season. Granted, there were like 2 people who did really well with it, and now you add in the challenge to have follow JD throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
In front of that line, back and forth. That's just a lot to think about. Plus, your raps are new. You just wrote your raps.
Memorized them.
Yeah.
It's because last season they didn't have the back and forth. They were
Right.
just up on stage catching the beat.
Yeah.
There
Right.
was not that back and forth.
You know, you,
component.
in the beginning you said check your heart rate.
Yeah.
You know, we're going live. My heart rate would have been flat that whole time. I'm that nervous. Like,
flat line.
Right. Catch me next week. 'Cause I don't know about this one.
Catch me outside. How about that?
How about that?
For some air.
Right.
Yeah. And how do you even prepare for something like that?
You
because
really can't.
Because some of these kids were like, okay, they have to write new raps, of course, but you don't know what beat to write it to.
Yeah.
You know how the delivery is going to be, the measures and all that. So you just kind of.
I think the
what to
strongest
do
person, I'm not even speaking about this specific cast, but anybody who'd be great for this challenge is a freestyler. Like, that's their specialty because, you know, when you freestyle, everything's off the top of the dome and you're just able to adapt quick and to hop on the beat.
That's
So,
true.
which we know with the contestants in the house now, that's not their stilo, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure.
That's not
who
their
among
specific
Nova's
niche.
a good
cast?
freestyler.
Nova?
Nova's, I think they said Nova was probably the hottest freestyler, and he can catch a beat pretty good or whatnot, pretty well. Granted, you know, like they said, he didn't quite. I mean, we'll talk about it soon. He didn't quite have the X factor for this performance or whatnot. Once again, that's just a lot to deal with to have to try to encompass everything all together.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then again, this is kind of like a performance. You got to keep your stamina up when you're on stage. You're moving back and forth. You know what I mean? You're trying to pay attention to everything that's around you. So what JD put them in is kind of in this scenario where this could happen to you anytime, all the time. You just got to get it together. And we've seen in this past performances, after they get off stage, everyone's tired as hell.
Yeah.
That's just one performance. Now, like you guys said, when you go on tour, you're there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's a
Every
long
night.
day on top of that too. Like
exactly.
even before you doing your actual performance, you got to do backstage,
Right,
sound check.
Sound check.
Then you got to wait for your actual performance, perform, and then you're got to recuperate after that, the fans and all that stuff. So yeah, man.
And you probably woke up early that morning to do promos for
Yeah.
radio, TV,
It's a
after
long
traveling all
day.
night. So yeah, they got to get their stamina up for sure.
And that's why the fact that they brought in once again Kelly, it made perfect sense because
did.
she's been there, done
lived
it,
that life.
and she's in shape.
And she's in
Super
shape.
in shape. And I didn't even know she had a workout video.
I didn't
didn't know she was in that lane.
Might have been kind of some cross
Bet-
promo
bet-
right there.
bet.
You
That's
know,
the most-
it had to be, you know, because
Exactly.
I
Of
didn't know
course.
Yeah.
up until this episode here. So
But you
Oh,
can
you know.
imagine Destiny's Child schedule back then
It had to be
was
something
ridiculous.
fierce.
and there were kids too, just
Yeah,
like
they were
them.
young.
A lot of cities on those tours.
Exactly. I mean, like you think about like Beyonce now and what she does as well too. Her tours are crazy. She has a little bit more time in and out in between her tours, but when they're on tour, any artist, Beyonce, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, whoever,
Yeah.
it's so rigorous that
It's
you
a
have to
lot.
be. here, and here. You have to be alive, and just keep it going.
It's a lot.
It's crazy.
It's definitely a lot.
They work for the money. Let's just say they do work for the money.
They do.
They definitely earn it.
They earn that money.
That's why a lot of people think, you know, everything's glitz and glam and you got the fans screaming. But no, trust me, there is work done behind the scenes.
There's a whole bunch. I had an Instagram story rant like the other week.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we were driving through Hollywood and I was like, look how not glamorous this is. It's dirty. There's a whole bunch of things you have to do. And to think about it, when you're an artist or when you're somebody like us trying to be in the industry or whatnot, there's just so much you have to do to get to that position. So much. You know what I mean? And this television show for the rap game just shows just a little bit of how much work goes into it. Yeah. After this, you don't know what's going to happen. They don't know what's going to happen to their careers. They're still going to have to keep on moving.
Yeah.
With the whole situation.
Have to keep the grind up.
Exactly. And I think it's all going to be about determination and real inspiration and motivation and drive to want to be in this industry. Because if you just want it for the fame, you're going to fizzle out real quick.
Real quick. I feel that.
I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel that. It's those who, I mean, the race is to what?
Great point.
Those who can last longest. Because a lot of people who have made it to, you know, big fame, they started out, you know, way before that. And
Way
they,
before,
They had to keep up with that hustle and that grind and that consistency. And they kind of built that. They built it along the way.
You know what Big Boss Marie Menino said to me one time? This was back in high school, before I was ever thinking about this, before AfterBuzz was ever, you know, created. Yeah. She had a talk in my high school, and she said, I know I'm going to succeed because I'm never going to give up. And look at her. She never gave up.
Look,
after how long her career is, and look how, you know what I mean? Because she probably saw hosts dropping on and off because they couldn't take it. But they're going to drop you. You're just going to rise.
Yeah.
You just got to get, you know what? I was actually, I was thinking earlier, because we're all trains. This is the way I think about it. And like the way I move specifically, I'm always doing something. I might be doing a lot of things that a lot of times, so it looks like my train's going faster, but when I start to fall off, my train is still moving, but it's moving slowly. So pretty much, no matter whatever you do, you got to continue to do it because it's the longevity that counts.
True.
This is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
It's a marathon.
Right. Just like Kelly Rowland and JD's career. You might not see them in the limelight all the time, but
That's
they're
right.
doing
Well,
something.
they're there. Even if it's the background,
Right.
and producing and putting other artists on,
Exactly.
they're still working.
We didn't know Kelly had a
workout,
workout tape
but
out.
she was working.
Now we know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So during the challenge, DJ Holiday kicks off the beat, and Nova steps up first. I feel like Nova did good, but I think there's a couple areas where he wasn't all the way on beat. What do you guys think about Nova's performance?
I thought he did good going first. In this case, ended up hurting him.
Yeah. I think his confidence was there and it was cool. And maybe he was overly confident with the situation. And maybe that's what, DJ Holiday didn't see that extra X factor because he just felt comfortable with it. And you're right. Maybe because he went first, he didn't get to see how everyone else did. And it didn't light too much of a fire up under his,
Yeah.
And he just kind of just went with it. You know what I mean? So I the way they were packaging this whole episode of him being so confident, I was like, it's not going to work out for him at the end. This is way too good. They're not going to build it up, you know what I mean, for it just to say, okay, he gets number one.
Right.
Something's going to happen. Then when you saw Trinata step up and you see what she was doing, I was like, she's going to get number one.
You say, okay.
I knew that. I was like, you just felt it when they were, how you were watching it. You know she was going to get number one.
I did too, yeah. I knew.
You know?
So then he does his thing, and I felt personally that he was a little flat. Just a little bit. So I agree with JD with that. He wasn't all the way, to me, that hype Nova that we see on stage when he's performing at, on stages for the festival, I think, earlier on in the season. So he wasn't that way to me. Roscoe gets up, and this is the chain Roscoe. This is the... he still had glasses on, but this isn't bow tie Roscoe this episode. This is the chain Roscoe. There's two Roscoes, in case you didn't know.
Okay, you like a little Nicki Minaj different.
There's the bow tie Roscoe, and then there's the gold chain Roscoe.
Which was more aggressive? You think it's more aggressive?
The gold chain Roscoe.
Gold chain Roscoe.
Yeah.
Okay,
gold
that's king.
Chain. Yeah, that's
king right there. Okay,
that's king. Yeah. So he had on his chain, and to me, I like how he did, and I like there was a couple moments where his flow really matched the beat.
It did
really well.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that was melded together really nicely.
Yeah.
Any notes on Roscoe?
He looked good.
Looked good.
He definitely did. I just think he, like JD mentioned during the hit list, by the time everything was over, he was like licking his lips,
right?
Yeah, and all this stuff, and that just you got to be ready for the game.
Yeah.
You got to stretch out before, so got to get right.
I'd give it to him. I think I was surprised because I thought he was gonna do. He was so nervous, and then he didn't do too well at the workout session. I thought it was gonna follow him in this challenge, but he surprised me. He surprised JD too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, with how well he went. Granted, yeah, he was licking his lips at the end, and he was breathing pretty hard or whatnot. But that's something he can work on, and it could be okay. But I still think he delivered in a way. You know
I think he came through in a major way. And while he was licking his lips, I know that there was a point where he tried to play it off like he wasn't. Like he's like, when JD mentioned that, he's like, no, I'm not. Remember when you race somebody when you're a kid in PE class? You don't want them to see that you're real tired. No,
I'm good. I'm just checking out my heart rate.
Right.
Close your mouth, but you be dying. Your chest be on fire. So Roscoe was trying to hide it, but yeah, JD did mention that that he could kind of see him breathing a little bit too hard. But Roscoe's not athletic. That's not his lane. He's more of like the all A's, nose in the books kind of kid, and that's what he portrays in his raps too, for the most
Which
part.
is fine. That's his brand. It's all good.
Fine. Yep. Yeah. Tally was up next. To me, she started off really well.
Bruh.
Then got off about 3 beats in. She got off beat.
She lost it. Like, if she was maybe a couple beats, if she was a couple beats behind, she would have been on beat.
She would have been on.
She was in front of the beat when she was trying to rap because she was nervous, and I get it. You know what I mean? Like everyone's gonna be like, "Why are you always backing up Tally?" Blah blah. It's because she's transparent.
I was actually about to mention that in the comments. You guys are funny because you guys say we always bash Tally, and it's definitely not that. It's just constructive criticism.
Or some people say, "Why are you backing up Tally too much?" You know what I mean? Like, but in my head, I'm like, no, I'm just saying, like, I appreciate her. I appreciate her being so transparent and open about what she's not.
Yeah.
Which means she knows herself as an artist or whatnot. And I've watched her videos on Instagram. If you ever watch Tally's Instagram and you look at some of her stuff, yo, the way she delivers on Instagram and the way when she's prepared and she knows her stuff. Yo, that's radio ready. It's radio ready. It's good to go. Yeah, you should watch it. It's actually pretty good.
I think I've seen some of it. Yeah, and she did surprise me. I saw a video I think last week that was really good that she put out. Because people in the comments, I think last week they said they mentioned me and was like, he's always bashing Tally. And they probably say that you always stick up for Tally.
Yeah. So I feel like it's the opposite. But I mean, it's our opinion. Yeah,
but that's not. I mean, I don't not like Tally at all. I think she's talented. She's she's on the rap game. She's doing her thing. I think she started off this challenge really well. Yeah. But then when she got off, she got off. I just think personally, is my opinion, that she doesn't have right now the complete skills that she needs to succeed. But obviously she's getting better because now on the Instagram, I personally saw it and you saw it.
I mean, I still think she's still top 3. My top three, and we'll talk about it, but my top 3 is still going to be within the spectrum of Nova, Detroit, and Tally. That's kind of like my mix right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. And then Flagey was next. To me, she stayed consistent the whole challenge through. And even put a little bit of attitude into it, some Flagey attitude, which I liked. What do you guys think about Flagey? Anything?
I just thought it was the same Flagey that we've seen.
Did you like it at the end though, when she got a little crazy with it a little bit? Yeah, I like that part at the end where she got a little bit like really into it.
She got amped, right?
Yeah. Granted, it's the same thing. Her diction is going to be a real problem.
See, that's where I disagree personally, because JD keeps saying that about Flagey. Her diction, her clarity is not there. I can understand everything Flagey says, and I'm not sure what JD keeps referencing, because I hear her clearly. And do you think you hear her clearly?
Not as much.
No? This one was half and half. Yeah. This one was half and half.
Whenever he says that, I'm just like, I don't get it.
The last couple of times, I hear her clearly, and I see that she's trying to work on it. This time, I think it might have been the situation of her having to keep the stamina up, moving around, and things like that, which kind of just deterred her from, keeping the diction up. But I kind of missed some words, and I didn't hear it all the way here at this particular episode.
Okay.
But I give it to her in the past couple ones where I feel like she's been trying really hard.
I like Flagey. I don't think that she's the strongest, but I think she has a lot of heart and a lot of determination, and she has a lot of talent. All these kids are talented.
Yeah, they're all talented.
I especially like Flagey though, because there's something about her that has like there's a little quirkiness about her that I like a lot. But yeah, JD said she was unclear. Detroit steps up next. To me, she was consistent throughout the whole thing. Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about her. I don't have anything outstanding. I thought she did well. Is pretty much for me.
I thought she did good as well. Worked out good. Performed good. Yeah, and it was her performance that really made her stick out compared to everybody else. So good job to D.
I agree. The way she performed in the challenge was really, really good. You know what I mean? The way her attitude changed when Kelly talked to her. I think she needed that talk, and she needed to hear that to basically not be in her head so much, like Kelly said. You know what I mean? Be her. Know that she has some swag and she has some style and she has some sort of X factor in her that no one else has but her. You know what I mean? It's right. Like the way her accent is, her little attitude is different. It's unique. You're gonna know who she is when you hear her on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the dope part, when you can determine who somebody is by just listening to them. Kind of like the Ariana Grande runs, and it's Ariana Grande. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's a major factor in the music business is if you can recognize the voice without hearing the name of the seeing the face.
You got to figure out how to stand out in a room full of everybody. What Jay-Z say?
What would he say?
Stand out in a room full of...
Okay.
I'll think about it.
Show them how to move in the room. No,
yeah. But
you know what I mean? You got to find out if
I'll get to you.
You got to find out if it's Migos or Lil Yachty. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, no, Migos. You know it's them. Mama!
No. Little Yachty or Little Uzi Vert.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
which one is
that's
it?
the difference, yeah.
What did they say in the chat room?
There was actually a great question that I was gonna wait until we got to the hit list. But
wait to the hit list?
how do y'all feel about Nova's reaction to D? He really has a problem with her, especially when she beats him. Anybody else notice that?
We'll get to that in just a second. Then we'll get to that question because we're about to hit the hit
really
list right now.
Question.
That's a really good question.
Stuff to say about that.
Appreciate that question. When they got back from the challenge, D felt that she did good. She was talking to her manager about what he thought about her performance. He didn't see the first part with the stamina challenge in the gym, but he did see the catch the beat challenge, and she felt she did good in both the workout portion and in the catch the beat. But she's like, oh, with JD's hit list, you just never know. So she couldn't predict it.
Never know.
But then Nova, on the other hand, they showed a scene with Nova, and he felt like he was first, of course.
He felt like he took it all.
Yeah. But did you hear what he was like? He was kind of mimicking the hit list, like number 5 on the hit list. And what did he say? Like, Teach Renata, number 5? So
he was messing with her a little bit, and that's competition straight for him. Like he feels it, he knows it.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
He knows it.
He's always saying if there's anybody he talks about in the house or complains about, it's D.
Right,
and vice versa.
Right.
Is talking about Nova.
Talking about Nova.
So that's a little rivalry going on there.
Definitely,
because they are very strong.
They are.
Which too now Nova's gotten number 1 4 times. D's gotten after this one 3 times now. So I mean the competition's it's there.
She's catching up. Now when it gets to the hit list, JD says that he based the hit list off the gym challenge and the catch the beat challenge.
That's good.
Okay.
So he's taking the whole thing into consideration this
and
episode.
I knew once he said that, I was like, all right, our boy Roscoe. Yeah, Roscoe's down there, you know.
Yeah.
And then I also knew that Tally as well. Excuse me, wasn't going to land well.
I felt I knew that Tally and the Roscoe were going to be where they were. I think I kind of predicted the hit list in my head as it was going. The only reason why the 1 and 2 spots, like I figured out, was because of, like I said, how everything was packaged.
Yeah.
I was like, they're not going to let this fall in this anticlimactic situation.
Right. It has to be some drama to it.
There has to be some sort of drama to the situation.
It's TV. You got to do it.
Exactly.
Reality TV.
Exactly.
So you know they're going to play it up.
Something.
So when it came to the hit list, number 5, Tally.
Right. Deserved, and she knew that.
She knew that. Yeah, JD thought she was off, and she didn't. And he said she didn't understand or know how to get back on beat.
No, she didn't.
That was his note to her. Is that she didn't know how to do that. So that's why she was number 5.
I wouldn't either, though.
Yeah, like I said, when I saw them go through that challenge, like that would be very hard.
That's a hard challenge.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Number 4, King Roscoe.
Back at home, back to where he started from the bottom, and you're still there.
He was okay with it. He was so cool with it, though.
He was okay because he knew, the gym challenge, he didn't do well.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He really didn't. Take the gym challenge out of it, I think Roscoe would have been higher. Cause I really liked his performance in the catch the beat challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
JD liked his rap, but he felt that Kelly and Shut Up and Train, they saw that he didn't have any focus.
Yeah.
So that the gym portion really.
There's the focus you were talking about earlier.
It's the focus. Yeah,
that's the focus.
You got to be.
That's the focus. Poor Roscoe, because I'm rooting for Roscoe.
Right.
I'm rooting for him because he's a character. I like his character. Flau'jae comes in at number 3. JD has a problem with her diction, clarity. which he said before, and I already said I don't agree with it, but that's where she falls and stacks up in this hit list. What do you guys think?
I felt him on this one. Yeah, I mean, I think we both heard it. Yeah, I mean, I think she needed to be a little bit more clear with it. I still liked her performance nonetheless, especially towards the end of the challenge where she kind of just went off a little bit. Yeah, it got me excited. You know what I mean?
I did like it. I liked it a lot. Like I said, Flagey is she's cool to me. She's cool to me. Number 2. So they take a commercial break. And we get back with number 1 and 2. Nino predicts it. Jimmy predicts it.
Yeah.
It can't be build up, Nova the whole time and then have him take number 1.
Exactly.
It can't be that
There's
way.
no way.
So we get back. Nova is number 2.
Number 2.
He is definitely not having
I was
that.
just excited for his reaction. I was just waiting for his reaction.
Super disappointed. And the reason was DJ Holiday wasn't impressed.
Right.
So we see here that JD, and he even sat on our couch in the studio and said this, he really takes into consideration the guests that come in on the episodes and comment on the contestants. He takes that all into consideration.
I like that too, because you need to get a different perspective on people, especially if you've been working with them week after week.
Right.
Yeah. You start to get used to them. You need a fresh face. Check out my talent. Let me know what you think.
An objective opinion, unbiased.
Exactly.
That's why you beta test things before you bring it out to market, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why you ask, like, when you're in college or when you're in school, you ask somebody else to look at your paper because you've been reading that for the past 5 days.
Of course, you're gonna be like, I think it's great.
Right.
But someone else might read it.
Exactly. So it's always going to have somebody else's opinion. So I see why he values these people's opinions so much. Because otherwise, Nova could have just slid. You know what I mean? And it could have been okay or whatnot. But JD even said it before. DJ Holiday said it. He said it was alright. His performance was alright. He didn't capture him either.
Yeah, it's alright.
Which too, DJ Holiday's he's got a name in the game, mixtapes circuits. He's Gucci Mane's DJ. Okay. I mean, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Definitely. He's been around a few big names to know.
Definitely.
What he's saying for sure.
Ryan Ninja Steel, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Did Ryan call in one time? I feel like Ryan might have. No, maybe that was somebody else. But we've seen Ryan before.
Yes, we do need to get Tally on here. Y'all tweet Tally.
Yeah, we do.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Okay,
it's in the works.
Yeah.
It's in the works.
It's definitely in the works. Tally being on the show. Number one was
straight out of B-More.
Right.
Straight out of Baltimore.
Ditronara.
I knew it. I was happy for her. I think she did good with this one. If she listens to Kelly and she's a little bit more out of her head and more and just concentrate on her own element and being more confident in who she is and what she is as an artist, she's gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's gonna be good to go.
Those are the keys for her. You laid it out. Those are the keys.
Oh, you know what? But Nova, although he was like salty in the beginning, when he listened to his manager later on, after he explained his perspective on what happened, he understood a little bit better. Because at the end of towards the end of the episode, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I messed up here. We're gonna make it work out."
Okay, but let's talk a little bit about Nova because he is the confident guy. He gets a lot of the attention. He's gotten number one a lot of the most times in the house, but he has a tendency, and like our viewers said, and like we've said, that he seems to pout if he doesn't get his way or if things don't go according to as he expected. What do you guys think about that? And how does that affect him, and how will that keep him from possibly winning or not winning?
I don't think that's only him though. I mean, we've seen it in Trinata, we've seen it in Nova, we've seen it in Roscoe. Tally, she's kind of okay. I wish I got it, but no. So I think she's the only one that doesn't really get into her emotions that much.
Yeah, and I think Roscoe's different because Roscoe is not, by comparison, he's not the guy that's so confident and cocky as like Nova is. So
he just wants to get over 3.
Yeah, I'm just he wants to get over 3. But Nova, he's all the way at he's the most confident / cocky guy in the house. So he's at one extreme of cockiness, but to go all the way to this other extreme and pout when he doesn't get his way, like, is that a bad look for Nova?
Something has to work on.
I think that's just being human.
I think it's something he just needs to work on as well too. I mean, like, it's one thing to be super confident and one thing to be cocky. Cocky in rap is good at times or whatnot, but you also have to be able to draw back and learn as well too. But I think that's what he kind of proved in the end of this episode, where he realized it. Maybe he just needs to realize a little bit more that he got to draw back just a little bit, so he doesn't look all like all crazy on TV. That's what as some people perceive or whatnot. Granted, he knows that he's good. You know what I mean? And it's a competition, so maybe he's just in that mindset of I gotta be this strong individual and I gotta push through and I gotta show everyone that I'm not scared of nothing. So this is just who I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be because of the competition. It could be that's just him, but he might just want to pay attention to it a little bit more and draw back just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Right. I personally think it's kind of a bad look. I think it's one thing to be confident. That's great, but at the same time, you have to. If things don't go your way, I think it's a better look for you if you be confident, but you can be like, okay, I can learn from that. Instead of
it's a competition, guys. So is the argument that you guys are upset that he got mad when he lost?
No,
but I mean, you have guys like, because when you get into the real business, you're not going to win every award. And you're not going to get every #1 single.
Okay,
you can't be running up on stage grabbing somebody's mic because things
like
didn't go
Kanye
your way.
West. Look.
You know what I'm saying?
You did a great job, but Beyonce had one of the best albums.
When things don't go your way, which a lot of times they won't. A lot of things will go well, and a lot of things won't. So I'm just trying to bring, pick your brain about whether that'll affect him.
Yeah, I'm not mad about the situation about him doing his thing or whatnot. It's just, I think, as a constructive criticism, it might be something you want to look at just to draw back just a little bit. Because the confidence is always good to have. It's key to have the confidence the whole time. Yeah. But you don't want to draw it into too much cockiness. Maybe a little cockiness is good for this industry or for what he's trying to do. But in the long run, some people just might get tired of it. So just, watch it maybe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, though, keep doing you.
Keep doing you.
Yeah.
For sure. And with that, let's get into some predictions.
Some predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I miss the lights, y'all.
So next week, we see Little Bow Wow. You just don't know the way you move so fast across the floor.
Okay.
Bounce with me, bounce
to the
with
point
me.
that I just want to take you home. So we see the originator. Pretty
Shad
much
Moss.
kind of
I don't know
the
if about
OG.
this is Shad Moss.
Oh right,
now.
this is Shad
This is the
Moss
actor.
now, right now. Yeah, this is
Shad Moss.
You grown man.
Grown man.
grown now. Makes his
Yeah.
appearance on the rap game.
He's still a little Bow Wow to me.
Yeah,
So-
that ain't gonna change to me. Bow Wow.
He visits the house next week, and it looks like there's a publicity challenge.
Yeah.
Something I was trying to figure out something to do with publicity. They're taking some photos.
They going on live situation.
They go on a live
Handling live
news
TV,
station,
which we all know that's not the easiest task.
No,
Oh no, we live here.
we live
You know
now.
what I
That's
mean?
right.
We live now.
Live
Things
is live.
happen.
Yeah,
Sometimes you just gotta roll with it.
You gotta roll with the punches.
You know
got
what I
to.
mean?
Yeah. So and then it looks like Echo feels next week that D once again copies Nova.
Yeah.
Not sure how, but what's that?
I think it's the praise hands. I think that's what it was.
the praise.
When they were doing the
was it?
when they were doing the pictures,
photo
right? The
shoots.
photos. It was Nova doing this,
Yeah.
and Deetranada doing this as well too.
Once again.
You know what I mean? I don't know if she saw him or whatnot, but that is kind of like a common thing right now. You could do a brick squat or you could do this, and that's just, you know what I mean? That's what it is. But I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. I think they're gonna play on this out about maybe one more episode between the whole Deetranada and Nova thing.
Yeah, I'm sure,
And I think
build
they're
it
gonna
up.
squash it at episode 11 because it's been kind of played out through the past couple of episodes or whatnot, and I think 12 and 13 are just going to be about the challenges and other things or whatnot. I also think there's going to be another parent manager blow up somewhere because we
who?
haven't seen that in a minute. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we
just waiting
haven't
for it.
yet.
We haven't
Everybody's
seen
been
it.
all
I'm just waiting
nice
for it,
and
you know what I mean?
boo boo boo.
Exactly. And if they don't, well, congrats to y'all.
Yeah, he made it a whole season without any major
Right,
blow
it was just like one small blow up and that was it. So we haven't seen a parent blow up in a while, and I feel like that might come episode 12.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. I don't know.
When it comes to Nova and Deetranada, do you think Nova and his manager doth protest too much about what Deetranada is doing?
Protest as in
Are they
pick
saying
on it?
Are they saying too much? Are they really going? Are they reaching, or do you think there's some? You think there's some?
You think
style bite.
there's some truth behind it?
Yeah, some truth behind it.
I mean, we see the footage.
Yeah.
So you think that
I think,
there's really some? They say imitation is a high
I think
form of
it's
flattery.
like somebody
Is
said
there
here,
some imitation?
it's Nova's growing pains. You know what I mean? He's going through some growing pains, and he's trying to, he as confident as he is when he sees competition, he might draw back a little bit, be a little bit more nervous. So he might have to nitpick on that. You know what I mean? And he's nitpicking on Deetranada because that's his closest competition at this point. So I feel like sometimes he might reach for it, you know what I mean? And he's unexpectedly reaching for it. And then his manager kind of just piggybacks on it because it's his manager.
Backs him up.
Yeah.
But, you know, with this, in this next episode, if this is specifically about the praising hands or something, then you got to go all the way back to Birdman, then, because he's the originator.
Well, yeah, none of these, no one in the house is originated anything.
Yeah, you know, so.
It's like when Kylie Jenner said she originated wigs.
Stop it.
What?
Something like that. She said she originated the trend of wigs, and everyone was like, let's not.
Just like she originated getting plastic surgery and shit from her body.
Stop.
But I'm just
But shouts to you as a businesswoman, Kylie Jenner. I'm just saying.
Hey, you're doing your thing.
We have a lot of Nova supporters in the chat room.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of Detroit supporters as
I
well.
feel bad, guys. I think we talked only about Nova and Detroit this whole episode.
We talked about Tally a little bit too,
Yeah, we talked
Roscoe.
about Tally.
We
Roscoe.
got it all.
We covered everybody, I think.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm catering out to everybody out there. You know,
I think
we gotta start to spread the conversation more.
I think we got it this time. Maybe, you know, are you in your feelings about or something?
I
like
just
that?
like to you know balance it out, you know, because not everyone is only a fan of a D or a Nova. So I hear you guys out there.
But nonetheless, I think it's gonna play out. Just one more episode. That's gonna be it. There's gonna be a parent kind of like blow up somewhere in between or whatnot. Okay. And then we'll just see what happens from there.
I think if any of the momagers or parents, it'd be Flage's mom.
Flage's mom. Because Flage's mom was the first one who had the instance, right?
Yeah.
With who, though?
I feel like she'd be ready to...
Was it Echo?
Oh, with Echo, yeah. But, like, who would she...
who would she...
Yeah. I think Roscoe's mom.
No.
Hey, Roscoe's
well, you know
what?
what?
I take that back. I take that back. If it got down to it, Roscoe's mom would, you know, she would get down.
Yeah. Roscoe's mom's a little G, so I don't know.
Don't let, you know, her fool you. I think she would get down if she needed to.
That's funny, though.
But nonetheless, I still think my top three is between Nova, Detroit, and Tally. That's just kind of where it stands for me right now as for predictions.
And but as we've seen, we can't really predict it. So I hope you guys have been taking into account what the guests have been saying each episode to kind of put together, you know, in your mind who might pull it out this season. A couple more episodes to go. It's still exciting.
Three more, right?
More exciting.
Is it 3 more?
3 more episodes.
2 more. I thought it was
12 or 13 episodes this year.
I think it's 13. I don't know. It's 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Yeah, exactly.
2 or 3. Shout out to everyone joining us in the chat room.
Definitely.
T. Paraso says they're for real reaching. I'm over it. Been over it. Melodic music, I think, saying I'm still on Team Nova. I think there's support all over for every contestant in this episode, in the show.
There's love everywhere.
And thank you guys for supporting us as well.
Definitely.
Until then, that has been the episode.
That's it.
The Rap Game Season 10, Shut Up and Train. Thank you guys for joining us here at AfterBuzz TV. Make sure you guys you like the video, share it, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Download the podcast. Visit us on Instagram and on what's the other one? Twitter. Something called Twitter.
Twitter, Snapchat. We got it all.
Yeah.
We got it all. AfterBuzz TV is the name. Make sure you check us out. Check me out on social media. I'm all over it. JJ the Talented is my social media name. Check these guys out too.
Yes, guys. Once again, thank you for joining us. And I did want to shout out 2 people that reached out to me on Instagram asking specifically about this show. So that boy Traquan, shout out to you. And I want to shout out at Young Lacage. I hope I said that right, but we talked. Shout out for you to reaching out to me. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Continue the conversation in the comments. Check my blog, beyourowndad.blogspot.com.
Yeah. Once again, it's your boy. You know, you can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Follow my hashtag Nino's POV. If you into hip hop, fashion, and lifestyle, check out my website, thefifthelementmag.com. Check you out later.
Yeah, and we want to give a special shout out to Lim, who's not here this episode, but he will be back. One of these days we'll get it together.
All 4 be back.
One day.
We haven't had all 4 of us in.
I'm not going nowhere for the
like
next couple
2 months.
episodes.
In a little minute.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be in California. So
exactly. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Join us next week for another episode of the Rap Game. We are out.
Deuces.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.